Hi guys. About a year ago, there was a show going on down the street from me uh, when I lived in Andersonville, and I started reading the Bible as a joke. This year, there's also a walking distance festival going on, and I'm reading a different book than the Bible. I was going to read the New Testament. I still have the Bible. There's not a lot of people watch. In fact, almost no people that watch the me reading the Bible one. But I'm very bored. I just worked a 6-hour shift ringing up groceries for people because I don't have any employment opportunities. I'd like to spend tonight with like somebody I love, but every time I try to connect with somebody romantically, it doesn't work out. They get terrified and go away. So all I have are books. I mean, I could work. Anybody hiring on YouTube on a Saturday night? Probably drinking and having sex, like a not severely traumatized person. Do you want to read who Marcel Proust was? He was born in the Parisian suburb of Auteuil on July 10th, 1871. His father, Adrien Proust, was a doctor. I have a caffeine-free Diet Coke, guys. I have to close the windows so I can stop hearing the drunken college kids yelling and having fun and sex. I can't drink alcohol because it makes me psychotic. So I just listen to that in the background my whole life. And I drink caffeine-free Diet Coke. Marcel Proust was born in the Parisian suburb. Oh, he's a fucking from the burbs, dude. He's not even from Paris. Fucking trust fund Proust. See, I have a sense of humor once I start having a thing to interact with. His father, Adrien Proust, was a doctor. Who's watching? I wonder. You can live chat. I saved the live chat, so it'll be preserved for posterity. One person that's watching on a Saturday night. Adrien Proust was a doctor celebrated for his work in epidemiology. His mother, Janine Weil, was a stockbroker's daughter of Jewish descent. Okay, so he lived. So his stockbroker. Okay, I actually haven't read this before. He lived as a child in the family house on Boulevard Machab. I don't know how to pronounce French. Probably should have learned French before I read this. In Paris, but spent vacations with his aunt and uncle in the town of Illiers. Illiers? There's probably some fancy French way to say it. Near Chartres. Chartres. It's like chartreuse, but with an E. Where the Prousts had lived for generations, which became the model for Combray in his novel. I didn't know he was Jewish. I guess his mom's Jewish. His mother was a stockbroker's daughter of Jewish, so he's part Jewish. French and Jewish. The king of being annoying, this guy. In which became the model for the Combray of his great novel. In recent years, no chat, no viewer. That was quick. You just stopped making the I don't know what you stopped making, because I'd have to know who it was to know why I assumed that they left. But it's fun Saturday night, guys. Buckle up. This is a long book. This is the first of the. This is 10 hours. We're not even going to get through the first part of the first volume in 10 hours. Do you know how long this book is? Became the model for Combray of his great novel. Okay, in recent years, it was officially renamed. I probably shouldn't have worked a tiring shift before doing this. But despite my best attempt, being off of drugs and psychiatric medication, it'll take me, I'm guessing it's 6:15. So it'll take me, I've never been able to sleep before like 9, 10. Um, this isn't gonna be good. Just opposite action. You don't have to watch. You don't watch already. You see, 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 see me, see Deville. Every rose, just like every night, just like every cowboy. We're reading Proust, guys. We're reading the intro to Proust. See, the funny thing about Proust, I don't know if you know this about this. The funny thing about Proust, the whole thing, this thing, do you want me to get the other books? This is, okay. How many volumes of Proust are there? Of this book, not of Proust overall, of this book, how many volumes are there? I believe there are 7. Does it say? Yeah, 7. I knew that. I haven't read you. I've read part of this thing, and I've pretended to have read you because I've read a summary of you in Search of Lost Time, like the Bible. I do have a bit. The bit is you read the book that you said you read, but you never actually read. But people like to watch funny, young, attractive people do bits. They don't like to watch. He ate a cookie. It took him a long time to eat a cookie. The amount of book that this is my understanding of Proust so far. The amount of books that are impressively long and impressively French. And now I know somewhat Jewish too, which is kind of sus. I thought French people didn't like Jewish people. Maybe that's why he took so long to eat the cookie, because he's trying to save it because he's Jewish. See, guys, this is the high IQ Proust interpretation we deserve on a Saturday night when there's nitrous tanks outside. Sickly from birth. Okay, so he's sick. This dude's me. He's like vaguely Jewish, but not really. And he was in chronic pain as a child. I could take a long time to eat a cookie, dude. We've had a paragraph so far, and I could start over. Sickly from birth. Do you want to smoke weed? Do you want to smoke weed? No one? Yeah, no one said yes. I don't do drugs, but I do smoke marijuana. But, yeah. Isn't this cool? Isn't this a fun Saturday, guys? You know what I bet they play tonight? You know what I bet those geezers out there play tonight? I bet they open Bertha. I can watch the set list come in. This is a long book, guys. Okay. Combray. Sickly from birth. He was sick at birth. I also had chronic illness as a child. He wrote this book. I recorded embarrassing SoundCloud rap 10 years ago. He wrote this, one of the greatest pieces of writing in the literary canon. I shit posted jokes on various forms of social media. Sickly from birth. See, in that way, if we're doing the analogy section of the Kev Saties, in that way, sickly from birth, I am, some might call me the Marcel Proust of YouTube. He was subject from 9 to violent attacks of asthma. And although he did a year of military service as a young man, Studied law and political science. His invalidism. Just invalidism. I don't even know what that means. I have to look up. Should I look up stuff while I look up stuff about looking up stuff? I don't even know. I mean, I know how long it's going to take to eat a cookie, and it's going to be more than 10 hours. Okay. Invalidism. This is how I actually read. I'm not being recorded. Fair understand something. Oh, invalid. Like, okay, so like he's so sick he can't leave the thing. See, invalid. I was reading that. This is a thing that happens when you read books. You don't understand a word. You look it up. You listen to a book. You just don't understand anything because you don't read. But you get synopsis. You get Wikipedia summary information about what a book is. But then you try to like talk about ideas with these people, like everybody under the age of 30. And yeah, you end up reading Proust by yourself. 9 violent attacks of asthma. Poor Mark here. Although he did a year of military service as a young man. 1 year? How did you get out of the French army in a year? Studied law and poli-sci. His invalidism disqualified him from an active professional life. During the 1890s, Proust contributed sketches to Le Figaro, to a short-lived magazine. I remember Le Figaro. You guys don't remember Le Figaro? Slept on as a short-lived magazine in France in the 19th century. Le Banquet, founded by some of his school friends in 1892. Pleasures and Days, a collection of his stories, essays, poems. I should have cleaned that. What I did was I put it down there, but it's still visible in the camera. I have the hefty bag. I started cleaning and then I was like, it's Saturday night, guys. We can always clean. We can't always live stream for an imaginary audience, us reading Proust. I got a text. This is the hotline, guys. Anybody who's ever known me, you call it shots. Oh, new clown core. Sweet. Okay. I got word. Yeah, word. Alright. Guys, when I didn't have a job, remember how not that funny but like energetic these were? That's the key, is you just get a soul draining job. Then you're just like, what? Why? Why would you? I can't pretend to care. It is Saturday night in the middle of the summer, and I live down from, not like there, not shakedown, but like, I might just go up. See, this is, why didn't I have a job? This is not Proust anymore. I think I just figured everything out, which is you just get a job and you have no energy to pursue your. All right, we're doing the intro. I thought I was doing this, and then there's 6 more of these, but I'm sober and I have a job. We're doing the intro, and I'm gonna try to like. I'm not gonna act like I'm cool now. See, that's how long it takes me to act like I'm cool. I have time stamps. About 10 minutes. But okay. I think I just smoked weed. Oh, I did smoke weed. Weed. Do I have to stop smoking weed? I do. God damn it. I have to stop smoking weed. That's bad. I have to get a job and stop smoking weed. You guys get to not have a job and you smoke weed. And you didn't get fucking sick as a kid. Me and Proust are the only people who know how to eat Madeleines, you fucking noobs. I'm back at being angry and wanting to. I'm going to read this whole thing now, out of spite. During the 1890s, Proust contributed sketches to La Figaro, short-lived magazine Le Banquet. Founded some of his school days, Pleasures and Days, a collection of his stories, essays, and poems, was published in 1896. I know what you're thinking. We already read this paragraph. But what about this part? What about this part? Have you read the praise for In Search of Lost Time? Richard Howard, a prominent literary critic. What about the bibliographic info? We didn't cover that. The glossary. This is a set. I bought the set. It's 7 books. Okay, so we have to start at the cover. Should I read the back cover? Should I read it backwards? Rest in peace, Martin Amis. Time's arrows. Brilliant. Reading Swann's Way was a rapturous experience, David Denby. Classic Denby. Search of Lost Time, Volume 1. Swann's Way, Marcel Proust. Translated by C.K. Scott Moncrief and Terence Kilmartin. Revised by D.G. Einhart. D.G. Einhart. I was thinking of Jim the Anvil Meinhardt, who had a great display of ginger facial hair. It's not fair how hot redheaded girls are. It's equally unfair how not hot redheaded guys are. Introduction by Richard Howard. Praise for the Modern Library. Edition of In Search of Lost Time. Twice amended to bring it to documentary decorum, in the kind of contextual completion Proust himself could never achieve. The C.K. Scott Moncrief translation of The Search, rebuffed, rebuffed, buffed Bagwell, lightened, tightened, buffed, rebuffed, lightened, tightened. This guy's like Muhammad Ali, this Richard Howard guy. And in the abstergent sense, brightened, lightened, tightened, and brightened. This guy constitutes a monument, which is also the medium. So this constitutes a monument. Lightened, tightened, and brightened. He's just talking about the translator. He's saying, like, this is better than the book. This guy just loves a good, that's what I do when I translate this. This guy just thinks the translator gets all the, is the director, though. It's not the director, it's the editor. You're supposed to be the editor. The abstergent sense, brightened, constitutes a monument, which is also a medium. The medium by which to gain access to the book. The books, even the apocrypha of modern scripture, a triumph of tone of a single and singular. I like that he did the and. Vision, singular, ultimate. Revision of the primary version affords the surest sled over the ice fields, as well as the most sinuous surfboard over the breakers of Proustian prose, an invaluable and inescapable text. Yeah, you can't escape the text of Proust. You can try as you might, but it's inescapable. Everywhere I go, everybody's like, have you finished part 4 of volume 5 of Swann's Way? It's inescapable. You literally can't find a single person who's not talking about Marcel Proust and reading Swann's Way on a Saturday night in the most populous college town in the Western world. Marcel Proust, In Search of Lost Time, Volume 1, Swann's Way, translated by C. Scott Moncrief. Let's check if it's the same guy. I think they might be trying to pull a fast one on us. Modern New York Library. Let's see how modern you really are when you start blowing at the buckles. Ayn Rand. Yeah, it's the same. Checks out. Still revised by the same guy. See if Richard Howard has anything to say about it. No, he's on board. C. Scott Moncrief. Still C. Scott Moncrief, sorry. I have to start over. C.K. Scott Moncrief. Still the same as C.K. Scott Moncrief. Louis C.K. Scott Moncrief. Terence Kilmartin. I can show you. I'm not making this up. People think I make up stuff on here. (2003) library page. This is my favorite part of the book so far. Bibliographical note. Copyright signed 1992 by Random House Incorporated. Introduction copyright sign 2003 by Richard Howard. Revisions to the translation copyright trademark. They print these. See the C's? All rights reserved. Oh, sorry, I forgot a copyright. Copyright 1981 by Chatto and Windus and Random House Incorporated. All rights reserved under international and Pan-American copyright conventions. Published in the United States by Modern Library, an imprint of Random House Ballantine Publishing Group, a division of Random House Incorporated, New York, simultaneously in Canada by Random House of Canada Limited, Toronto. Modern Library and the Torchbearer design are trademarks of Random House Incorporated. This edition was originally published in hardcover in Great Britain by Chatto and Windus in the United States by Modern Library in 1992. This translation is a revised edition of the 1981 translation of Swann's Way and C.K. Scott Moncrief and Terence Kilmartin, published in the United States by Random House Incorporated in Great Britain by Chatto and Windus. Revisions by D.J. Einrights, Library of Congress, cataloging in publication data. Proust, Marcel, that's the guy who wrote this book. 1871 to 1922. Swann's Way didn't live that long. I guess 1800s, that's average, probably. Ducote de Chez Swann, English. Swann's Way, Marcel Proust, translated by C.K. Scott. Still the same guy, the last one. We just checked the first one was the same as the second one, so I don't need to check the second one's the same as the first one. Moncrief, Terence Kilmartin, in the mix still. Heinrich, revising this. Paragraph. In Search of Lost Time, Volume 1. Translation of Ducote de Chez Swann includes bibliographical references. ISBN 0-375751554-8. 1 title. 2 series PQ 2631. Period. R63D83. 1992. That stands for 1992. It's approximately 32 years ago. 1 title, 2 series. 843 apostrophe period 912 dash dash. If you wanted to type this, it would not be a single one of these strokes. You'd have to do 2 of them, and depending on the word processor in your mobile device, it would either automatically do that or not. Dash dash DC 210. Sorry, DC 20. Dash dash DC 20. 92-25657. Modern Library website address. www.modernlibrary.com. Printed in the United States of America. This is 18. I don't understand why it says 18, but it also says the number 18. Let's see. Let's see. I'm not making any of this stuff up. Okay. Now that we've gotten to this, we can start talking about Marcel Proust. Marcel Proust was born in the Parisian suburb of Auteuil on July 10th, 1871. His father, Adrian Proust, was a doctor. 26 minutes. See you tomorrow.